John Wesley, a priest in the Church of England ministering in the 1700s, was one of the founders of the Methodist movement, and his theological writings continue to guide Methodist theology today. Contemporary Methodists look to John as a father in the faith. So here are 3 things every Methodist should know about John Wesley. I'm Reverend Ian Collier, and this is 2 Minute Methodism. First, John Wesley's theology developed considerably over his long life. Early, Wesley's focus was on developing methods to strive for a moral uprightness. After an intense religious experience at Aldersgate Street in 1738, Wesley began to focus on the need for an experience of God's grace and an emotional trust in grace alone for salvation. But in preaching this evangelical message, Wesley was horrified that some heard it and then stopped performing good works altogether. Through a lifetime of theological nuancing and experimentation, the mature Wesley gave us a vision of faith that has become the hallmark of Methodism. God's grace frees us and empowers us to cooperate with God and to work hard to become fully saved. Not merely forgiven, but to become reflections of God. Second, Wesley never intended to start a new church. The Methodist movement was always intended to be a parachurch revival movement connected to the Church of England. If the American Revolution hadn't forced most Anglican clergy in the Americas to return to England, or if American Episcopalians had been only 1 year faster in organizing themselves, the Methodist Episcopal Church might never have been born. Third, Wesley was not just a priest, but a social reformer. Wesley campaigned against slavery, against poor working conditions and low wages, and even wrote a book of home remedies for those too poor to pay a physician. While later Methodists have had various degrees of living up to Wesley's legacy, you can find Methodists in history on the front lines of abolitionism, the labor movement, women's suffrage, and the civil rights movement.